For your abs to be visible, the layer of subcutaneous fat covering them has to be thin enough, right? With 15 to 17% body fat and good lighting, you can start to see the outline of your upper abs. With 12–14%. You look fit at the beach and the top 4 abs are visible, but not the lower ones, with 10 to 12%. You can see your entire rectus abdominis or six-pack clearly without flexing or special lighting. Below 8%, you're at a competition level where even abdominal veins show. Not good. Your goal is your choice. Most people never reach that initial 15–17% level, not due to poor diet or lack of exercise, but because of other, often ignored factors. I'm Dr. Borja Bandera, a specialist in endocrinology and nutrition, and today we'll discuss revealing your abs with science. I'm sharing 6 mistakes, with the last being the most important. The first is not providing enough training stimulus at the right dose. Many of us who enjoy exercise often stick to just one activity, like playing paddle tennis, soccer, going to the gym, climbing, or doing CrossFit. They aren't usually combined since life doesn't give us time. That's just how we are, and that's fine. The only real problem is not moving at all. However, to optimize fat loss and get below a threshold of 15 to 12%, enough for your abs to start showing, you really have to pay attention to the pieces of the stimulus puzzle. A routine that optimizes fat loss should have a balanced strength base with low-intensity aerobic activity and topped off with bursts of high intensity. The mistake is that runners always work at intermediate intensities, gym bros only do strength and don't do any cardio, and CrossFitters only work at extremely high intensities. A more balanced distribution would be a strength stimulus of 3 or 4%. Where are most fatty acids oxidized in your muscle? So having good, competent, active, and sufficient muscle mass is important, right? Yes, do strength training and zone 2 cardio 3 times a week for at least 150 minutes total. These training zones directly burn fat. In addition to improving the balance of your autonomic nervous system, mental health, and cardiovascular system. Where does high intensity fit in? Actually, 30 to 40 total minutes per week is already enough. A lot, I'd say. It's a highly lipolytic activity that releases fatty acids from fat stores so you can burn them during other activities. And a slight caloric deficit. This mix is ideal for lipolysis and oxidation if there's also a caloric deficit. Mistake number 2. More visceral fat reduces lipolysis, and too much visceral adipose tissue becomes dysfunctional. Adipose tissue shows adipocyte hypertrophy, larger cells, hypoxia, inflammation, and fibrosis. This significantly reduces the ability to mobilize lipids and the lipolytic response to hormones. Let me explain why this happens. These adipocytes are infiltrated by M1 macrophages in visceral fat, and M1 macrophages create a pro-inflammatory environment. The inflammation alters sensitivity to catecholamines, and this happens even in the absence of severe obesity. You don't need to be very overweight. Having visceral fat is enough for this to happen. If you want to learn how to get rid of it, I recommend you watch this recent video, which already has over 250,000 views. Mistake number 3, not having enough fit friends. If you want to be and stay in shape, you need to have fit friends. This might be hard to hear, but science is sometimes harsh. The direct social influence of physically active friends increases the likelihood of adopting and maintaining exercise habits and healthy lifestyles. This is undeniable. Why? We act by imitation, whether we want to or not, since social reinforcement is strong. Shared activities create motivation and enjoyment, even when we experience pain or discomfort together. This unites people and creates a sense of accountability or social responsibility. Being in a group makes us feel responsible for it. Do you find you stick to workouts when training with someone but often skip them alone? Most people experience this. It's not just you. Does this happen to you too? The standards are as high as the average of the standards of those you surround yourself with. If your friends are sedentary and spend their free time drinking or watching television, you're likely to do the same, right? Borja, I have strong willpower. That won't happen to me. Yes, it will. Be careful. The opposite can happen too. Obesity is socially contagious. The probability that a person will develop obesity increases by 57% if a close friend becomes obese. This effect reaches up to 3 degrees of separation in the social network, meaning it extends to a friend of a friend of a friend. Conclusion. Look for friends who are in shape, or at least hang out with people who are in shape. Mistake number 4. Monitoring your testosterone in men. Aging-related androgen decline and changes in adrenergic signaling can increase visceral fat and lower lipolysis. Testosterone is a lipolytic hormone. What does this mean? That it helps break down fat? It releases fatty acids into the blood, so when it's low, fewer are released from adipose tissue. Also, when it's lacking, there's a reduction in muscle mass from spontaneous physical activity, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis decreasing total energy expenditure and fat oxidation. Testosterone increases lean tissue while burning fat at the same time. That's why people who use chemicals can build muscle and stay lean year-round more easily. Don't do it. Conclusion: at age 45-50, it's wise to check your total and free testosterone levels. You noticed it was available, as androgen deficiency is always linked to metabolic disorders and trouble losing fat. Mistake number 5. Normalizing a baseline alcohol consumption is very common, at least in my country. Normalizing having 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a day? Yes, even on weekdays, having a beer at lunch and wine at dinner is very common. I see it even among people who are otherwise health conscious. This, besides being terrible for your health, can almost completely prevent you from dropping below 20% body fat. Your body has the absolute priority of eliminating toxins before doing anything else. How can it burn fat? Alcohol is a toxin and high in energy. 1 gram adds about 7 calories. After drinking, the liver focuses on processing toxins, keeping lipolytic activity low. Naturally, there's also the math to consider. Imagine you went to the gym and burned 400 calories running and lifting weights for a while. Those 2 beers a day are about 300 calories, which almost completely wipe out the calorie deficit you worked so hard to create at the gym. Are you getting it? The impact isn't just that it provides energy, it's not just about math, but it also slows down the rate at which your body uses the energy it has stored as fat. Few know about this double metabolic damage. How many alcoholic drinks do you have weekly? Be honest, this is a major area for improvement and where you can actually get abs. Mistake 6, overestimating your movement. I'm saving the most important one for last. Most of you overestimate how much you can burn at the gym, and most of you underestimate how much you can burn with physical activity. The problem is that going to the gym is usually a conscious activity, while non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or unconscious physical activity, can actually double or even triple what you burn in a good gym session. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is the key to dropping below 20% body fat and is the most variable part of human energy use. Look, 2 people with the same weight can have a difference in energy expenditure of up to 2,000 calories in the most extreme cases, just because of these differences. In terms of non-exercise activity, thermogenesis, let's compare 2 40-year-old men who weigh 80 kilos, one trains for an hour a day, burning 400 calories, and spends the rest of the day sitting because he has an office job. He has a very low non-exercise activity thermogenesis, let's say, 400 more calories, so he burns 800 calories in total, in addition to his basal expenditure. The other one doesn't train, but he walks 12,000 steps daily as a delivery man. He's very active, constantly going up and down stairs delivering packages. He's usually on his feet, he's restless, so he has a non-exercise activity thermogenesis of 1,200 calories. What happens? The second one? He doesn't train, but he burns more. You're defined by how you move the other 23 hours, not just 1 hour of training. An intense CrossFit session burns 300-500 calories plus excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, yet takes just 4% of your day. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is all other calories you burn. Walking, cleaning, climbing stairs, gesturing, shopping, and active jobs like waiters, mail carriers, and construction workers can burn over 2,000 calories daily. Why? It matters because it fills the 16 hours you're awake. If you want visible abs, stop being just an office gym bro. Be more active. Walk to work, use a standing desk, clean, walk the dog, fidget more. Remember your restless friend in class who couldn't keep his legs still? That's fidgeting. Simple trick. Whenever you get a call or need to send a long WhatsApp voice message, stand up and walk around. Doing this activity for 20 minutes a day can add up to 2,000 steps effortlessly. Avoid carrying all the bags at once. Make 3 trips to protect your hand. When folding clothes, avoid making a big pile to move at once. Carry small groups to each room and walk while brushing your teeth. Stand while working for 1 or 2 hours daily. You burn 50% more calories than sitting. That is, be intentionally inefficient, since we live in a world that is hyper-efficient in terms of our energy expenditure. What else do you do to increase your physical activity expenditure whenever you need to? If you want our help with a personalized nutrition and training plan and close monitoring that ensures you reach your goals, spots are open. Sign up here. See you in the next video. Thanks for your attention and subscription. Big hug. Keep empowering.